Yes. Hey, it's Croc36, and here we are again to review this awesome game of Balance Mode. As I tell my would say to you, out of boxers, this is not that different, not that big of a leap, and it's a lot of this is very translatable to what we're doing in the out of box games, whether it be a one-day tournament or playing online. So let's learn lots from these guys that know what they're doing. I'm going to welcome back Gamerman 01 or Ted. Want to say hello?
Hi, thanks
Hey,
for
and
welcoming me.
sure, and Adam514 who is now in the championship game for 2024. Welcome, Adam.
Hi. Yes. Thanks for inviting me.
Sure, sure. So, like I said, we're going to see some intense dice rolls in this one, actually. And the next two rounds, I think there's going to be some pretty exciting battles with some tough dice on both sides. I think more on the Allied side, but let's check it out. So in this purchase, we're watching the Germans buy one in round five, watching the Germans buy one armor, three artillery, two fighters,
Hey,
one infantry, and five
Randy,
mech. Yes, sir.
sorry to interrupt you there. Can I say a couple things in
Oh, yeah, yeah, sure.
here?
Go ahead.
Great. One is huge admiration and kudos to Adam. I'll tell you why. Um, I knew after a few rounds, as fast and decisively as he was moving, and that continued. But I thought, you know what? Even if I managed to win this game one way or another, I honestly would still consider him the winner
Okay.
because it was not equal footing.
Okay.
Now, this is the way we play with in the playoffs, really almost unlimited time. We try not to take more than 3 or 7 days.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I did, sometimes it was life, but
Yeah.
um, I had to clear the decks. I had one other game going that took a back seat. I would go to sleep thinking about the game. I'd wake up thinking about the game.
Sure.
I'd think about the game in the shower. And after sleeping on it a time or two, I'd come up with some good ideas that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And then after
Gotcha.
about 3 or 4 days, I'd sit down and make a move. And about 2 hours later, Adam would have his big move done. And so finally, I messaged him. I felt so bad. I'm like, man, and he said, hey, I get to like 99% efficacy in that amount of time. So like I wouldn't put a better move out there if I took a week. Um,
Gotcha.
and if
Okay.
that's, and you're playing your game and that's cool. Like, he wouldn't accept my um, assertion that it really wasn't fair. So
Okay.
I just want to say that because as you're watching as we review the game, take our time, um, you were looking at moves on the Axis side that did not take very long.
Gotcha.
Um, and then the second thing I'd want to say is I will. So I accept most of the constructive criticisms that we've gone through already. They're excellent,
Sure.
helping me improve my game. But I'm going to stick to my guns on one thing,
Yep.
and that is the mech and armor buy on Russia 4
Okay.
that kept Germany out of the Ukraine. Um, I didn't need blockers and such in Rostov because,
Okay.
as you'll see soon, the Germans had to pull back and couldn't even go that route at all.
Gotcha.
And I don't want to spoil things, but at this juncture, I would like to say that over the coming rounds, many rounds, the Russians had several fast movers, including tanks with punch, that made things a lot easier for the Russians.
Hmm. Very good.
That's all I got to say. If Adam wants to say anything as he's thought about maybe a review of the first 4 rounds or whatever, uh, I would invite that.
Sure.
Well, first going back to your first point about how much time we took on our turns, I think also it could almost be seen as an advantage to move fast because then the opponent always knows that there's a tough move coming along in a few hours, so they could be
Yeah.
dreading that sometimes.
Sure.
So
Can
there's a morale aspect of it too.
can I also say that So yeah,
That's
you
right.
played psychological warfare right
Yeah,
there.
exactly, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I also say that I think my opinion would be that because the Axis, especially Germany, you are dealing with a few boats and a little bit of logistics, but logistically speaking, the Axis have a much easier time. Most of your pieces have pointy things at the end of them, and you are not worried about uh, air bases and reach of bombers, air forces. So the fact that this is has a center and the spokes point out, I think Germany is a much easier power to play. And if I was having a new player, obviously rolling tanks two spaces toward Moscow is more intuitive.
I definitely agree.
Sure.
Allies need to coordinate perfectly to stand a chance.
Yes.
Thanks,
Um,
guys.
yeah, yeah. And I also think as long as the Japanese stay coastal, I think the logistics is the same over here. If they venture out and even into Java, it's a little more tricky. But this naval base here, and the ease of movement along the coast is similar, not exact, but similar to the German advantage. Just a thought from Lunk. All right, here we go. Combat moves. I'm going to let the animation carry us away. Okay, so I don't think there's anything too, I mostly noted and expanded the battles that were significant. Um, so we're just watching as the Germans shore up. And let me just pop this over right here. We'll try to move along. Um, all right, and placing units, and I'm going to expand just to get in there a little bit. Okay, so we did place, um, I believe you placed a boat in the water. Nope, two fighters, one mech in West Germany, one infantry, one mech in West Germany, three artillery in Novgorod, and one armor, three mechs in Germany. But you undid that and you placed one infantry in West and one mech in Germany. And this is the way it looks. 112 is slowly gaining. Looking like it's going to stay there. It's got a nice scramble here. So late game, Sea Lion is sort of slow burner on the table. Got to be a little nervous about a weaker London than you'd maybe want. Um, but the push here has been effectively handled by the Russians, making these areas radioactive for a real serious push. Um, Strong. This is I would think you're going to Belarus next turn, but we'll wait and see. And then this here, guys, this air base obviously covering 97, um, and obviously extending power over all of the med, assuming trying to get the med bonus as well as keep Italy alive. Any comments from the German player,
Yes.
Adam514? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got a few. So the previous round, you saw the Germans make an attack on Season 95 next to Italy to
Yes,
sink the big Allied fleet. So
devastating.
that's why Season 112 is safe and
Yes,
it can't be attacked yet. Then we saw also the previous round, the Russians bought a lot of fast units,
yes,
and that's why the Germans are repositioning Eastern Poland, making slow units in Leningrad for the eventual stacking of Belarus this time.
gotcha. Good. All right. Oh, careful, Randy. That takes a long time to open up all those little things. Okay, so as far as money goes, I just want to see the cash. I'm going to move us down a little bit. Cash is, I'll watch over here. 63. So you're making decent money. You're not, the Allies aren't in what I would consider the danger zone yet, but on their way to that. Let me just, 140, 40-ish is getting to be very serious. Oh no, you are at 150. Oh wow. Okay. So You are making some good money right now. Okay, let's keep going with the Russians.
One last thing
Uh,
I would say
yeah,
is
sure. Oh yeah, yeah.
um,
Okay,
and out of box, the Russians really can't afford to make anything other than infantry and maybe artillery. But here, the extra money opens up some interesting possibilities
okay,
and
good.
helps balance the game.
And Russia right now is headed into the next
Yeah.
turn with 34 IPCs. So yes, that's going to give them some possibilities in round five, even though there's been a major incursion into Russia. Good. All right, Russians buy 3 artillery, 1 fighter, and 4 infantry. Okay, so you are not giving up the ghost. Um, okay, and then I don't think the battles here were anything more than skirmishes. Uh, and let's see the animation here. Um, okay, small skirmish. Okay, so you failed to take West Ukraine, but so you got a little lucky there with the Germans. It's going to happen more later on, folks. Okay, you're going to withdraw from Amur. Yep. And going to hold your ground. And even check out this dynamic Eastern fronts. Okay. So let's just sit back and admire this. There's some extra money too, by the way. So let's take a look at the extra money real quick. Um, we got seven, 3 for the Great Patriotic War, Lend-Lease 2, Lend-Lease Siberia Lend-Lease 2 for ending with 35. Okay, so and then I really am appreciating this. He's not desperate at all. Um, it's a real front. This is one of the things about out of box. A lot of times people will turtle, and all of a sudden you're looking at the Russians all gathered in one spot. And when you see good players play, they try to avoid that like the plague, having a nice dynamic front where you can keep territory. So without any help from the other allies, turn five. So well done, Ted. Any comments on Russia turn five?
Yes, thanks. It made me think of a few things. Really good commentary. Um, in no particular order, the Russian money there, the +3 for the patriotic war is would not be possible out of the box, but Balance Mod team wisely split up that 5 IPC NO from the out of the box, and so
Right.
that +3 is for having no allies in Russia, but that can be stomped on and out of the box with a ship in 125 or occupying Archangel, just one of those things. So that's a nice improvement. Again, Adam said so much with just a few words. I'd like to expound on it a little bit as to the Russians having a luxury to purchase something besides infantry and a couple of artillery. That is due to the balance mod rules, the splitting up, adding lend lease amounts and stuff, and having this dynamic front of the Germans' Eastern Front is a big accomplishment of the balance mod. Next thing, a small thing I'd like to point out is the Germans received a +2 for Italy completing the NO by taking Crete. And so Adam has this down to a science early on. He is able to take Crete and Cyprus both with Italy. So that takes 2 different transports or marine or something. Um, and that's a task that you wouldn't have in out of the box. So he has pulled off that feat. Um, and then lastly, the 2 battles in Western Ukraine and Ukraine. The Ukraine on Germany's turn. I think you missed that. That was significant. There was AA there and a couple of Russian men, and
Well,
I
that's
like
that's
how.
coming. That's coming up, Ted.
Oh no, he just
No,
did.
no, it was this turn.
It was this
Yep,
turn.
yep.
All
There
right.
might be more later, but it was this one too.
Okay. I know there's one later on for sure. Let me open up the box here.
So I like
Real
how
excited.
Adam's not afraid of AA. He knows the risks,
Oh,
and
no, it was. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this was so this was the AAA fires, they all miss, but uh oh, you get a clean sweep.
Mhm.
Um so yep. Okay.
yeah, that was that got my attention. That hurt because to take and hold Ukraine back, I've got two infantry to kill. I didn't get any German aircraft again. Um, and that was just the dice spoke. And then on the counterattack on West Ukraine, I took the chance. I think it's 88% when you take infantry and artillery against infantry. And as you saw, not only did I not take it, but I didn't even kill the man. So those are some pretty big setbacks.
Well, unfortunately, you're going to have more of those. But
I did get Ukraine though.
I think the Ukrainians, the native Ukrainians, will get their revenge in future turns. So there's an exciting turn coming up.
So thanks for letting me say all that. I know that was a lot,
Sure.
but
Sure.
I think each one of those was is a significant point.
Excellent. Okay, so Japan buys. I'm always looking for Japan. Like I said, there's the battle for the land, represented by those 7 infantry and 2 fighters, and the battle for the sea, which is represented by 1 destroyer, 3 subs, and 2 fighters, because the fighters have a great deal of flexibility. So if the Chinese and the uh, UK Pacific want to keep up, they've got to put 7 or 9 units onto Asia. And if the Americans want to keep up, or the ANZAC want to keep up, they've got to put 6 naval units into the Pacific, as we keep track of the battle for Asia as well as the battle for the Pacific. Okay, so combat moves. Let's watch the animation. All right. Caroline's. Okay, Caroline's has been captured. It's about to be recaptured. And a Marine is in the fight. It's going to take out some yummy, delicious transports, taking over Burma, Shanxi, Yunnan, just picking on those poor Chinese civilians. Militia. Okay, and then going to take out another yummy train. Okay, there we go. And to succeed all around. Must be nice. Success, success. All right. And okay, so look at this. This guy is in your face, America. Um, so let's take a look. So we have a very strong push into the, let's look here. So $67. And so we have small fleet up here that's opposed by a large fleet, but right next door is a larger fleet. Just look at the carriers. Obviously, that's the big number, 4 versus 2, and the planes. So, yep, that's a strong Japanese move right there. Obviously, casting projecting power over lots of places, Hawaii as well as Wake as well as Queensland. Any transports? There are transports, 2 transports, 2 fully loaded transports, and also units that can be resupplied. This is not a one-shot deal. Oh, that's right.
Well, one of them is a Marine
The Marines can come on to battleships and
and
cruisers.
cruisers.
That's right. That's right. Not destroyers though. Okay, sorry. Then the Malayan Navy is projecting power both over, of course, India as well as Queensland. Um, so that's got to have the Anzacians a little nervous, and your powerful air base and factory and naval base in French Indochina. And your progress in China is good, although, it's round 5s. Some people get that done a little early, but Ted has made a good deal of it. So kudos to you. No threat from the north. All right. Any comments from the Japanese player?
One thing to note, Onway has no Japanese land units, so a Chinese unit will pop up there for a chance at glory and killing one Japanese plane. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
this
All
I
right.
wanted to kill the units in Shensi this turn, so I take the 1 out of 6 risk of losing a plane, an additional plane for that.
All right.
Um, then
I get
there's India that is very strong defensively, but they can never go more than 1 tile away from India. So I turn my attention with my superior fleet against the islands that the U.S. have taken
mhm.
and distract the U.S. from Europe.
Just to get the wider view, the Indian Ocean is completely wide open. There is a small fleet off of Egypt. These two subs can actually put an end to the NO, the
Lend-Lease, I
National
know.
Lend-Lease down in Persia, as well as, of course, one of them can convoy India.
But the UK goes after Japan, so the US would, sorry, Russia would still get the NO from the Persian Lend-Lease if they
Gotcha.
just think the lone sub. So it was not
Gotcha.
worth it.
All right. Oh, I see. I see. So these here are to protect the
Exactly.
NO. Gotcha. Okay, good. Good.
It protects
That's
the Russian one and the Indian one. The Indian one is +3.
gotcha. All right. And so we are definitely the Allies are definitely behind on the naval arms race right now. Let's see what the Americans do. The Americans are going to buy 1 destroyer, 5 fighters, and 4 submarines. And then they're going to do some combat moves. Let's see. I'm going to close this up a little bit. Okay, let's see the animation. Okay, so we are back in 95, and this is going to be an exciting battle, people. And up, that's it. Okay, so here's the battle. Oh, and that's the worst part about the animation is that it spoils everything. Okay, so we have the two American subs roll. Um, it's 6v6 with the transporter involved. Um, Here it is. The subs get a hit and then get 2 more, so 3 down. And the Italian sub misses. And then look at that roll. Poor Italians, only 1 hit, so 1 for 3 right now. And then get 2 more hits, so that sounds great. But the Italians also get 2 hits, so still advantage America. But ouch, 3 misses. Oh, the Italians hit 2 misses, boxcars, and the Italians get another hit. What? That's 1v1, 1-1, and they end up. The transport survives. Oh my goodness, Adam, you cannot get completely unlucky, you dog.
Yeah, it was a really big comeback. Very unlikely after the first round.
Okay, here we go. Animation continues. Okay, so we had a lot of non-coms. Okay, and we are moving to 91. Okay. Okay, so picking up some stuff. Okay, there is an airbase there with 1 plane scramble. Transport out to there. Obviously, the bomber does not scramble. Bring those out to Hawaii. Okay. Okay. All right. Back to Hawaii. A little more force, a little more scrambling. And bringing troops home. Okay. 5 planes in the West Coast. Everything's in the West Coast. 53, 69, 74, $79. And that's with some of the bonuses from, is that right, guys?
Yep. The only
Yep.
bonus here would be the control of the 3 North African French territories that are in Allied hands with a U.S. land unit.
Gotcha. All right.
Actually, I lost that.
Yeah, you
Uh,
did. There's no Tunisia.
let's go check it out.
Ah, so yeah. Now
Uh,
now in balance mod there's an incentive to fight over those territories. Before you would prefer to leave them French as the axis, but now you need to take at least one for this. So okay, 79. Which one are you getting?
Um, Good question. I thought the islands, the extra
Oh,
islands, maybe.
okay,
Pacific, yeah.
Guam. Yeah. Okay, so the U.S. still have Guam and the three Pacific airfields. Okay, that's why.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, these airfields. All right. Okay. And then any comments from anybody right now as we look at the American? Um, this obviously maintaining your ships is going to be a huge deal in order to make any sort of progress over here. But the situation is so critical with the Japanese right there in Caroline. That's tough. I mean, you're up against it, and we can feel the tension of, instead of America being projecting power, America is now, turtling a bit. Is that accurate to say, Ted?
Yes. So the US has been going Europe quite a bit.
Yes.
And um, if Japan can't get to start taking Wake or Midway or really threatening Hawaii or New South Wales hard, um, my strategy for now is not to try to keep up with the Japanese fleet, but to not be dominated right now and come back later.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But taking heavy losses in Europe, and it's funny because I was keeping track of significant dice rolls either way, so that I'd know, whether how much they were affecting me. Not to make excuses, but
Sure.
to see if for learning from the game and
Yes.
going forward. And I missed. I actually left out that Zone 95 battle. It's not on my list,
Oh,
and it seems to have been blocked out of my memory.
yeah.
You can imagine why.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think there's a reason for it though. It was like a 50-50,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, at the beginning it was 50-50,
Yeah.
and then it got to be about 98%, and then it blew up. That's right. That's a great, it was 50-50. And
It
yeah, so it
was.
ended up being, oh, you know what? That's right, Adam. That's why I didn't write it down, is
Yeah.
because it turned out
It
average.
was an average result at the end.
You're right. That's why I didn't write it down.
Huh. Well, fun to watch. All right, let's go on
But
to the Chinese. Um, Chinese Burma Road is closed. Three infantry are purchased. Um, and then the combat moves. Let's see here. Okay, so there was that triggering of the guerrilla. So you see, guys, that one Chinese troop through the animation pops into Anhui because it's unoccupied by land units. And then we have a battle in Yunnan. Um, and here we go. Anhui. Okay, I'm going to open that up just to watch the fun. And one brave
oh,
Chinese attacks, and he gets a hit. Of course, he gets smoked, but he gets a hit. And so $3 versus $11. Very good. All right. But that's a fun little rule. I like that a lot. Um, Yunnan. Okay, so again, here's another battle. Here, watch this one. Here we go. Chinese roll, and the fighter gets it, and then two hits by the Japanese, and then it's going to be two dice. They miss. The Japanese guy gets it, and we retreat. So, ouch, allies. Poor Chinese. Evil Japanese won the battle. Oh well. All right. I'm going to back up to Szechuan, and we're going to place some units there, and we're going to try to go home. Okay, so collects $2. Wow. Okay, so the Chinese are humbled. All right. Oh, why are we in edit mode? Okay, so let me keep. Oh, I know. Okay, so let's go on. If anybody wants to, let's take a look. The Chinese are holed up in Szechuan, and the British buy a carrier, a fighter, and a transports, and the West Um, United Kingdom Pacific buys 2 infantry. All right. Let's watch the animation here. Okay. Moving into skirmishing over Szechuan, finally picking up that one. And then we are going to continue to fight for 95. And that goes better this time. And they win. And Yunnan. Okay, watch this. So Yunnan has one guy, the same guy. He is determined to live. And this guy takes rolls, and we get 2 hits. And then the guy takes him down, takes down a fighter. So that is one amazing Japanese infantry. All right. Non-coms lands in Sichuan, armor to northwest uh, to 98 with those. And then moving toward the Middle East. Sub, finally a convoying sub. That's exciting. Okay, transport. Okay, so we do have one scrambling fighter, destroyer, sub, 2 subs. Okay, we're moving planes to East Persia, carrier and transport placed in 98, fighter placed in 98, and ends with 33. Oh wait, nope, ends with 36 because no enemy subs in the Atlantic. And then down here, there's a bunch of blockades and ends with 7. All right. Um, so scrambling fighter. I mean, we are obviously, I mean, this is where the action is here. The North obviously is very safe. Um, all right. Any comments for the English? As India is strong, but like Adam said, there's no real offensive punch here. And so he has some time to play with and push other theaters. Okay.
Just that, of course,
Yep.
the placement in Persia or East Persia of fighters is strong. From East Persia, projects threat on Burma, and of course can go cover Russian positions as needed. Except I don't think I really could go up there because um, India's priority.
Yeah.
And I just want to say again, the balanced mod here, the +3 to India for a blank Indian Ocean almost doubles their income from out of the box,
Oh,
and
okay. Yep.
that is they're building 2 men a turn instead of one, and that's in my opinion just a huge improvement.
Okay.
Also, Britain's getting more money just for keeping the Atlantic clear of subs, although it looks like she's in danger
Sure.
now. So
Sure.
anyway, that's yeah, I won't go on and on.
Okay. Okay. The Italians buy a fighter and infantry, and then we'll watch and then going to move to non-coms, and then strengthening East Poland. Got some can openers here out there ready to go, and Libya. He withdraws from Tunisia to Libya, staying alive. South France and places units. I mean, obviously you've got lots of units here, but not a serious, not too serious a threat to at least to southern Italy. Um, and then holding up in South France. Want to explain this one, Adam?
Yeah, so South France, the season 93 can be reached by the whole now the whole Allied fleet. So that's
Yes.
the only spot they can really stack, and
Gotcha.
that's that's why I moved the stack there. I'm planning to stack southern France and leave the rest empty.
Okay.
One thing I will say,
Mhm.
as the Allied player, I always find it very annoying that Italy has a few units to stop the +5 North African NO for the US. So that's why I don't leave my units in Tunisia. I'll just go back whenever they move to, say, Normandy or elsewhere. So
Gotcha.
those,
Okay.
those units as long as possible in the to be annoying.
Excellent. Yeah, good. Oh shucks, I just did what I did not want to do. Let's see if we can find it fast. Yeah, I always like uh, to give them a decisive battle enables them to move on with the rest of their
Exactly.
lives. But to maintain a front is is a pinning action. So very good. Okay, so 13, and then Anzac moves, and Anzac is forced with that massive Japanese Navy to he is forced to buy some infantry, which is has got to be frustrating. Okay, so the Anzac moved to Szechuan to try to keep the Chinese alive in the game, as well as supplying the Hawaiian fleet with a few more resources, and then pulling up in South Australia for the counterattack, I would assume. And there we go. If he happened to attack New South Wales, I don't think you are getting $3 for extra dollars, not in Otterbox for um, a Pacific supply line
Yeah,
for
it's keeping
13.
all the islands near Australia still in Allied hands, basically.
Good, good. Okay, let's go to France. France goes here and joins the fleet and moves on to the Middle East, anticipating the possibility of an armored thrust down there. And we are into round 6. Um, just real quick, I just want to take a look at the numbers as far as money goes, and and also, so let's take a look at the money and the units. One,
Germany just
okay.
spent 63, so
Oh, gotcha. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So 143 to 172, 139, 126, and then the units, the Allies have the advantage by 65-ish, 64-ish, somewhere in there. And or is it 60? And then the TUV, it's the gap is definitely closing. Okay. 230, something like that. Wow. Okay. So definitely the Allies are, as far as those numbers go, are challenged and uphill battle. Okay. So the Germans buy 3 armor, 2 fighters, 3 infantry, 4 mechs. This is just a patient purchase, I would say. The 2 fighters have the flexibility to obviously defeat the fleets as well as to be there on time for the battle for Moscow. And the infantry are going to be placed up front, I would assume. And so just playing the long game. And let's take a look at the animation. Okay, so um, and then okay, so this battle is very interesting. Okay, and I'm going to widen the both these battles are interesting. Um,
the
okay,
naval one was a dilemma.
yes. So, oh, I thought there was a scrambling fighter there.
There
So,
was.
There
so
was a
there's
one.
one fighter in Gibraltar, but it has to choose where to scramble to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right, here, let's watch some action. 2 bombers against a destroyer. 2 bombers hits. The destroyer misses. There is a costly battle. Ouch. That is tough. TUV 2022. Okay, so defends, and he defends the big ships, and 2 misses by the subs, 2 misses by the airplanes. Oh, 3 strikes against the. All right, finally some luck for the Allies, and the Allies win. All right, the battle for Ukraine. Here we go. Here we go. One of the AAs finally hits. He is on the scoreboard for AA guns and a little low on the luck there. Oh, two hits scored against the skirmishers, and he continues the attack. Oh, and another hit too, and continues and misses the last one. Very good. That was 4 versus 4, a loss of 4 and 4. Very good. That is finally some luck for the Allies. I don't think that's going to last though. Okay, here we go. The Bombers come back. And okay, it's going to come to, yes, he does. He does come into Belarus. He is ready to stand toe to toe. Okay. Pressure is on. Okay. And again, I would say there 56, 61. Okay, 61. So just taking a look at this. So there are there is one transport in the Atlantic that I see. So one transport. Yet you are patient enough to resupply this area, and there doesn't seem to be any sort of hurry to your German game here. You're supplying this area, which at this point in time does not need much help. Um, but you are just taking your time, it seems to me. Is this correct, Adam?
No, I bought 3 tanks in Novgorod, so that was a hefty
Yes.
purchase, and that's
Yep.
to force the Bryansk issue.
Sure. Sure.
That's critical that it's done in a timely fashion.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. All right, let's continue. The Russians, how do the Russians respond? They responded with 1 fighter and 8 infantry. Okay, let's watch the animation as they take back Archangel and skirmish in West Ukraine, as well as take back Ukraine. I don't think there's any particular battles here. Oh wait, hold on. I did expand this for some reason. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, and okay, there's a hit, a miss. Okay, I guess I'm not sure why I expanded that.
But
Ukraine.
if some of them don't have surprising results, it keeps the viewers on edge. They never know what's going to happen.
That's true. That's true. We all do like we like to roll I think most people like to roll the dice, myself. And I enjoy the fact that sometimes the dice are wild. Oh, we're moving back into no more. And oh, we've got a convoying sub. Love convoying subs. Okay, let's take a look at this front. 39, $41. Okay, let's take a look at this. So $41, what is that all about? Um, so $3 for the Great Patriotic War. Persia Lend-Lease gets 2. Siberian Lend-Lease gets 2. Lend-Lease met an action objective for 2. So we've got 3 Lend-Leases for a total of 2, 4, $7 extra for the and the front
It's 9 extra total.
9. Okay, 9.
6 from Lend-Lease and 3 from the no allied units in Russian originally owned territories.
Okay. Okay, 3. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Oh, the Great Patriotic War is the 3. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Uh, 2, 4, 6. Yep, 9. Okay. So then so take a look at this, and I want to just highlight this for a minute. Now he does have 33 really fast movers, um, but this move here is really interesting. Tell us about this, Ted.
Sure. So the Italians have a can opener there, and so to avoid having to leave, it would take a lot of units on Bryansk to stop it. There's 2 mech back in East Poland. There's a fighter close by. There's a bomber in Rome. I don't want to do that to block Bryansk. but I really don't want Germany to just advance to Rostov in a single turn. The only way to do that is this. And I almost screwed it up. I don't know if Adam would have caught it or not, but probably woke up one morning and realized, and I added this to my own playbook, and I'll share it now for all of you to beat me with it. As you notice, he had 33 fast units in Belarus with the Germans. All of them can attack Moscow next turn because the Italians can take the land. So all 22 mech can make it there. He's got a lot of air in the area as well, and a bomber in Rome. So he's projecting a lot of power. And if I just stacked Russia enough to prevent a take of Moscow this turn, he would have the opportunity, although I don't know you take this risk, but a player in his position would have the opportunity to hit and run Moscow with the fast. The slow could advance at the same time, and Russia couldn't take the second blow the next turn.
Hmm.
So I had to leave, as I recall, I had to leave a little extra in Moscow than just defending it from a capture this turn.
Okay.
I didn't think of
Comment?
that at all.
What were you thinking when you see this configuration, Adam?
I think it's fairly typical to prevent the stacking of Rostov. Here, the Germans can't possibly stack Bryansk enough to withstand the two stacks, and also Rostov. So it's going to have to be a Bryansk stop for the Germans next turn. So
All
that
right.
slows down or makes it a bit more costly to capture Volgograd and Caucasus later.
Excellent. Okay, slowing down. You get into Volgograd and Caucasus. This is a $5 bonus and a $5 bonus. You're going to put
Yep.
the Germans up over $70, and that is definitely
Yeah.
red zone. Red zone, big time. I've if the Allies put factories down here, um, capturing this area right here is just as valuable as capturing Moscow. I think I could say.
One thing to note is also the
Yeah.
Russians declared on Japan. So,
Oh, they
uh,
declared war.
yes.
Gotcha. Good. Okay, so Japanese. Japanese by carrier destroyer, one fighter, five infantry, one marine, one submarine, and one transport. And again, the Marines can travel on battleships and cruisers. And here we go. I'm going to close this back up and do some animation. I think this is all skirmish action with very little. I mean, it's pretty obvious what happens. Oh, oh, oh. So I'll spread out the dice rolls just so we can see that. That is some nice dice rolls for Paloa. Um, and and I heard it pronounced this week too. Pelalu, I think is how I've heard it pronounced. Um, unless that's a different one. And I saw it spelled differently too. All right, and we have all of China except one space. All of Southeast Asia. Look at that mapped mini map. And the islands that were captured are being recaptured, plus the taking of Dutch New Guinea and New Guinea, taking away bonuses, convoying Sydney, and okay. And look at those planes coming in. Okay, and a serious fleet in Sea Zone 6 again. Let's take a look at the, I just want to take a look one more time at the naval. I always like to do that with the Japanese. I forgot to do it. And that's, what are they buying? They're buying five infantry and one marine and one fighter. So that's five, six, seven for the land, potentially for the land, and then one, two, three, four for the naval. So let's see if the Americans keep up with that. And then for money, um, $68. Okay, so we are definitely talking making some serious money. And so moving off Caroline, not endangered by the American fleet because you're too far away, and island hopping. So reverse island hopping. Oh, very good. Okay. Strong moves. Even this move back here in light of what's going on the rest of the world looks like it'll be a tough go, although this transport doesn't have anything to pick up.
It dropped people from Japan to J-Hole.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Strong moves. Uh, let's move on to the Americans. Okay, so the Americans buy a bomber, carrier, two fighters. So that is one, two, three, four for the Pacific Ocean, potentially, five infantry and two transports. And then let's see here. So let's watch the animation. The Americans are going to take out that cruiser and Tunisia, destroyer, victory, and then and skirmishes. He does lose a destroyer in that battle, and then we have a bomber going there. Transports back. Um, Tunisia's captured. Torch is on. And then trying to position yourself in a way that you're back in the action. Okay. And still the Pacific is getting a lot of love. 54, 59, 69, 74, $79. Again, extra income that wouldn't be there in out of box. Um, the carrier in 104, it just happened to be there because of the. I'm not sure why that's there.
That's there because there was a cruiser to clear.
Yep.
The fighters could only reach if a carrier was there. The carrier had to pick up. Fighters are from West US, where I put all five to
Oh,
turn
okay.
to four,
Gotcha.
but they're available for that. That retreating cruiser after the bad 91 um, retreated to a, yeah, it was still a problem. And then it had that parting shot of taking out a destroyer at the end. So the
Right.
disaster partly mitigated. And then I have an issue there because the planes have nowhere to land. I can't take a hit to the carrier.
Right.
And so I wanted to buy something a little different, but I bought a UK carrier to 109, gives a landing place for American planes.
Gotcha. Good. All right. You want to say something, Adam?
Uh, just going back for the Japan turn, I retreat from the Caroline's position because
Yes.
his fleet can defend against mine. So there's no point in staying there. So I just take the opportunity to take three islands without losing any transports, and I took Guam finally. So that's five off the American bank. But then the Americans also get back the North African one to get plus five, so they're back at the same income as before.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the Chinese. I'll leave that open. And combat moves. Okay. So then they don't have any. They can't purchase anything. So Shanxi, skirmishes, Yunnan, successful. I don't think there's any particularly significant dice rolls there. So China, China is still being difficult, and in round six, I think it is. That is a good feeling for the Chinese still be in it. Chinese, the what's it called there? The Chinese fighter, Flying Tigers. There it is. Okay,
It's
so the
toast
British.
now. It's toast now. That was the only territory China had, and China had to retreat. So fighter has to
Uh,
stay there.
gotcha, gotcha. Spoiler alert. The Flying Tigers are done. Okay, so carrier, destroyer, fighter. for the British, and then the UK Pacific buys nothing. Okay, so let's go and watch the animation. I'm gonna close this up a little bit. And we move and skirmish in Burma, and then we are going to go into Greece and capture Greece. And let's see here. Okay. Oh, okay. Tough battle. Okay, let's take a look at these dice rolls for the very fortunate sixes. So, if this was risk, you'd be doing really well there.
Yeah,
Have you considered changing games?
there's a
Okay,
story there, but it's too long to tell.
gotcha. All right, so he gets ahead and 1v1, and then oh, the British finally score some hits.
Of
But,
course.
but, but the Japanese do too. So Burma remains in evil Japan's hands. All right, and we move more troops and units toward India, and we move out of over to Transjordan, and we are trudging across North Africa. Scotland looks like it might be going to Moscow, maybe. And all right, places a fighter carrier in the Atlantic. The battle is on. Battle for the Atlantic. $43. Okay, so that's some good money.
Hmm.
Um, Let me fold this up a little bit. Where did 112 go? Did I?
Attack 91.
Oh, that's the one that attacked 91. That's right. Okay, okay. So we have finally naval, I think I can say naval supremacy, not superiority, naval supremacy for the in turn six. Excellent. Okay. We are there. Okay, and then uh, okay, you're up to $9 for the nine IPCs, collected two, three lost to blockades. All right, on to the Italians.
Just a second.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, go ahead for it.
Little things that are huge in games like this. Um, Both of these. Let's see. So in the 91, 92 double attack was a very interesting. I won't go into all the details, but I didn't think of the fact that Adam might actually attack them both at the same time.
Right.
So my fighter was able to cover either or, and so I had to choose one.
Yep.
And then unfortunately, just big miss by the destroyer against the bomber. But that was a slip up by me that was costly. And then on Burma, I whatever reason I didn't think that he would take it and hold it, so I took the wrong casualty choice. I should have taken a fighter off probably, so he couldn't land air on Burma.
Right.
That failed there. That those horrible dice, as well as choosing two infantry for losses, which could have happened in the first round as well if he double hit
Sure.
one ninth chance. But that was a setback for me because Burma was his permanently then, and moving on strong India just became a lot more doable. So that casualty choice in Burma is a big deal.
Yes. All right. All right. The Italians. The Italians end up buying two infantry, one mech. And let's watch the animation there as the Italians do their thing. They're going to do some can opening and killing a transport, yummy transports, and non-coms, staying alive in North Africa and being annoying and opening up Bryansk. And then okay, Normandy becomes a little more important because there's two transports again. And the Italians collect. Let's just check it out. They collect $10. Okay, so eight lost to blockade. Oh, excellent. Love to see blockades take nice. Love to see the blockades. My favorite locations. Obviously, everyone's favorite location. Sorry, you're in Axis headquarters, so you're gonna get called
Allied
names.
headquarters.
Sorry, we're always rooting for the good guys. Okay. Okay. So then we move on from there. Um, if I were to say, I mean, as much as we like this, there is not yet a credible threat to the Atlantic Wall, or at least not much of one. There is another transport, um, and there's two aircraft carriers. It is coming, but at this point in time, there's not a credible threat to either Rome or even West Germany. Let's go take a look at Anzac. So Italy has a lot of freedom, is what I'm saying. Okay, so Anzac buys. Okay, Anzac is still concerned with a near Japanese navy. They are just They've got this fleet, which can always reach to Queensland. They've got this fleet. They've got this fleet, which can reach northern territory. So they're going to do both a buy for the infantry and a sub. Let's see what they do. Oh, doggone it! I did it again. Um, I think I'm right here. Yep. Okay. One. Okay, so he's moving back to Queensland. He's got a fighter coming in. He moves his transport down there. I'm up to season 10. Supports the Wake Island force. Moves into the Atlantic and Northwest Territory, as well as two fighters to hold in Tambov and one to Russia. That's nice. And places units. All right, and collects an objective there. Collects 14. Okay, and the French move down to London, no, up to Scotland, back off to Morocco, Northwest Territory, Iraq, and the destroyer holds. Editing. All right. Just want to take it the look at the numbers right now. In this going into the seventh round. Okay, so we have 139, gone down a little bit. 192, a little more comfortable. Unit production is there, and then just moving us over here. Um, off was that that's 40. Okay, so 60-ish. And then 200, 260 something rather. Okay. So seems like the Allies are doing maybe on the numbers wise a little bit better this turn. Okay. Going into the seventh turn, the patient Germans by one fighter, five infantry, nine mech. Uh, and here we go. Okay, transport taking Archangel, and then Volgograd. Ukraine is skirmished over again. Greece is going to be skirmished over. Rostov's going to be taken over. West Ukraine. Okay. Any of one of these small battles, obviously on the Eastern Front, is going to be on skirmish on the other side as well. Possibly. I don't think any of these battles were significant, as in lucky. Oh, let me get back to history. Sorry. And recording the battles, success all around. Okay, Bryansk is going to be strengthened. Bryansk is going to be facing off against Moscow with plenty of reserves. Okay, reinforcements on the way. One fighter and one mech in West, three in Novgorod, eight in Germany, two in West. Blockades, lost the blockades, four, love that. 52, 57, 59, 64. How many of those are balance mod advantages?
0.
Zero. Okay, good. Okay.
Actually, no, two. There's the Balkans one, too.
Balkans. Balkans. And that's the fact that it's Crete.
Crete, Greece, Bulgaria, Albania, Yugoslavia, and Romania.
Gotcha. Okay, right here. Gotcha. Okay, good. Good, good, good. All right. So here, massive. I don't think I'm nervous about Moscow yet, but I'm getting there. Lots to do. What are you thinking right here, Ted?
Um, I'm good in good in Russia. Obviously, I want to slow the move south as much as possible. Um, the Greek battle was a big win for the Germans. Germans really wanted to take Greece. It's got an air base on it. It's worth it's an NO for the British. It's an NO for Germany too. And there were only two infantry there, but a single hit, Adam has to decide between taking it and taking down a plane, and I just cannot manage to get any planes down.
Yeah, I would have taken a
Uh,
plane hits.
Mhm.
all right. Good. Okay, let's move on to the Russians. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see if there's anything open down here. Let's see. Yes, I can close that out.
Oh, Randy,
Okay.
as far as
Yep.
Moscow security, I have like five planes that could move in if necessary.
Gotcha. Okay, you bought an AA gun and 9 infantry, and you have $9 left over. Okay, so we trigger. Let's go to. Oops. All right, let's go. And here we go. Skirmishing. Rostov, Volgograd, um, Smolensk. Victory, victory, um, and victory. Okay, good.
So, thanks to the balance mod NOs, but I had to rebuild my Air Force slowly as I lost two planes with the crazy attack on Italian canopers really
Gotcha.
early. So I was down to one plane, and I can't make those. I can't make those successful trades right there without two extra fighters that I bought back.
Right, right, right. You'll have to send in too many ground units. Okay, so the Russians, because of balance mode, are still at 41,
Well,
despite uh,
that's partly
Save
because
money.
they've
Yeah.
nine,
yes. So 41 minus 9, 32.
32.
So 32. Um, Still
They
getting
also
some NOs. Go ahead.
they also lost the Siberian Lend-Lease because they declared a war on Japan. So now Japan has the
Oh,
option of putting a sub in the emergency zone, Season 5 to wait. Oh, Japan did not put a sub there yet.
not
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
Okay, so they didn't get the Archangel one. They only got two Lend-Leases, but since Archangel is in German hands, they got Siberia, and they got Persia.
Excellent. Good.
So, and the declaration of war on Japan, Adam knows this full well, but um, so in balance mod, you hesitate to declare war on Japan because of those consequences, as well as your NOs will never be doubled. You're least. But if you look at America and the Pacific, I'm trying to set up something sneaky on Zone 6. I know it probably won't work, but you got to try. Um, Amur is a landing place for the new bomber on California, and I have two planes positioned in Midway, so projecting threat on Zone 6.
Gotcha. Good. All right. Let's keep going. Japanese by 4 fighters, 7 infantry, 1 sub. And let's do some animation. Um, okay, so killing those Chinese civilians, um, and
I
some
think those
some
are considered civilians.
they actually killed more civilians, obviously, than they did military people. The Japanese actually were almost well, they were very bad. Victor Davis Hansen says if you counted the number of Chinese civilians and Slavic or Polish civilians. Those were the killing fields and suffered the most consequences in the war. Anyways, so let's keep going. Oh, and he takes back Yunnan and wait a second here. That was a raid on Szechuan. Oh, you were taking out
Flying Tigers got to go. Yep.
Flying Tigers got to go. Okay. All right.
They went
Okay.
out with a
And
bang. It looks like they took a man down.
nice. Okay. And the big move in the Burma and strengthening Burma. Okay. And I'm assuming readying these transports to go to India. The big India pushes on. We have the Lend-Lease being cut off there and stacking an infantry in all of China so there's no pop-ups. Okay, it is all there. Look at that powerful force. Okay. All right, let's take a look. Let's do a flyover after we get the cash. Uh 67. Okay, let's take a look. So sub to cut off the Lend-Lease, sub here. Pretty open. Pretty C-Zone 6 is extremely open. No fear. 6 and 4 and 2. No fear whatsoever. And it's all here. 5 subs. Airbase obviously can send stuff back to C-Zone 6, but he's not going to C-Zone 6. This is everything here except for his occupying force in China. Love that rule. Uh, which of course encourages the Chinese to skirmish with these guys, necessitating a bit of a supply train. And but here it is. Now, yeah, I mean, yeah, if those fighters could not land there, you would have
Yeah.
smoked his ground force. There's nothing to it.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and I'm not, now I'm remembering. So Adam just
Wow.
pulled it off, but
Yeah,
I want to point out what he's done here.
yeah,
I didn't take the plane in Burma because I knew he would have to take a ton of planes there to hold it like that. And so either I figure either he won't do that, or if he does, it takes him away from the American fleet. They're not at an airbase finally because he's so good at keeping the hub going, especially from FIC. But as you can see, he's still able to cover zone 6. He's been investing in planes and they're paying off. So I'm not able to do anything and I'm going to have to leave India soon.
hmm.
So you're looking at some wizardry there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and also, of course, the just the map advantage, right? I mean, this is a brilliant choice for an air base, naval base, and an industrial plant. Malaya is not quite as good. Obviously, it doesn't reach back to C-Zone 6, but FIC is the place to be for the Japanese, and it just is so tight. It's yeah, I mean, it's logistically perfect. So this is
Well,
why a lot of players
yeah,
give up that for $10 bonus so they can grab FIC first
yep,
turn.
I do. Yep. Well, he's making it look easy, but when I'm back, I haven't played a lot of Axis in the last several years, but I've got 3 going right now where I am, and uh, it's not easy. One of them I just collapsed, and the other ones I'm doing okay. But when you look at the game here, well, really each move because Adam's got Japan down to a science, and so he's got it going on here. He's got the hubs, he's got it tight, and it looks like my fleet at Wake is in a good position. Um, but I think he's probably got the Carolines all covered. He's invested in the carriers partly for this reason. And look, he's just executing his plan, and I can't stop it.
Right, right, right. Now, and even a sort of a a war, a sacrificial war of attrition by moving into season six. The problem is that, as far as I can see, is even with that kind of sacrifice, which would be a total disaster for America, um, India has no way of like expanding rapidly. It's just not going to happen. So even that laying down a um, sacrifice in season six for the American fleet would only be delaying the inevitable. That looks to me like, at least.
Mhm.
So
Anyway,
if you were to look at any of other Adam's other games, you would see that despite some of the difficulties I've had, I am buying a lot of time.
Yeah,
It won't end up being enough, but India holding this long
yeah,
and slowing the drive by the Germans this long bought me time that I need, but I couldn't capitalize. I lost too many things.
sure. Go ahead, Adam.
yeah. So the Japanese have most of their fleet in FIC, and that reaches six. So even if so the Japanese have more boats, more planes, all that stuff can reach season six. So the TV swing would be disastrous
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
if the
you can't
Americans
do
went
it.
there, and then like at that point, like it would take many turns to get the same value out of India. So it's definitely kill the fleet at season six, then go back to India a few turns later.
sure. I mean, yeah. So,
And
and
then
that's the difficulty. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
and then Japan has six ships that can be repaired the following turn, so the the swing would be the it's not even conceivable to do that. If
Sure.
um if the US were in position to block that fleet from going, then it could be even if it's a sacrifice, it's you're killing pure air and all that stuff, so that could be interesting. But here, that's
No
not.
block. Yep.
So, I don't know if you guys ever thought about this, but I'm playing a game right now, and I came up with a house rule that it would be one free facility a piece, and then we also have what's called we're calling tech labs. But the one free facility that I dropped was a factory right here. Um, this, if you can keep pace with the Japanese with Navy, a fleet right here, American fleet right here, and then a factory right here, the Japanese can't keep up because you can drop three. I mean, if you have your Dutch New Guinea bonus, you're getting plus 15 or so. You can drop 2 units here every turn that show up in case the Japanese want to come near. So a very good idea to drop a factory, I think, right here.
It's only
Anyways,
if Anzac are making a lot of money that then it becomes really worth to do that. But if not,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
they struggle to even make 3 units sometimes. So
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I definitely agree. It definitely has to have this and be at war. Um, that's right. Uh, and down here has the advantage, obviously, of yeah, it has lots of advantages. So that not as many advantages as Caroline, but anyways. Let's continue on. The Americans buy 5 fighters, 3 infantry, 1 sub, and 2 transports. So 5 fighters and 1 sub. So these fighters and 1 sub. And okay, I am curious as what where these guys are going. So here we go.
I'll be right back. Two
So
minutes.
yeah,
Great.
sure. Go ahead.
Yep.
All right, we are going to take Crete. I don't. Let me go over to history. Sorry, guys. And just going to load this out a little bit. I don't think there's any significant battles there. Just Crete has taken over. He moves to UK, Sea Zone 91, Tunisia, Morocco, to Algeria, Morocco, undoes Algeria, and 2 fighters to 91, carried 91, 2 fighters to London, Tunisia. Moving forward. Okay, Sea Zone 10, Amor. Okay, Hawaii. Okay, resupplying Anzac and 26.
I'm back.
Yep.
Great.
Thank you. All right. Okay, you are thinking things through here, moving and undoing some moves. Let's see how you finally ended up. 60, 70, 75, 80. Okay, let's take a look at where you ended up. Um, so you got five planes placed there. You had purchased five planes earlier, and then Wake is weaker than it was. The north is sort of emptied, and you've stacked a bit in 54 with transports and planes. Okay. Um, you want to explain any of this, what you're thinking right now?
Sure, I can do a couple things. Some I can't remember, but two fighters to Amur are to get them to Moscow in the fastest route possible, and or on the way with the balance mod rules, the Americans and only the Americans are able to airstrike Japanese garrisons in China and make the Chinamen pop up,
Ah, sure.
which is pretty powerful.
Yes. Good. Okay.
And the
Uh,
fighters looks like a lot, but I have a carrier in 91, so they can get into the European theater immediately if necessary. Two fighters could go to 91, and I'm unusual in preferring a lot of fighters with America in the Pacific as compared to carriers. So, right or wrong, I tend to go light on carriers. What I don't want to happen is to hit a wall trying to go on the offensive with Japan and get really nothing to show for it.
sure.
So the fighters allow quick movement to between Hawaii, Carolines on carriers, the carriers you have to Australia if needed. Um, and a lot of my style is still some out of the box thinking.
Sure.
I'm still used to that. I played a lot of games in that, and I had a lot of success. Adam not as many, and then once the balance mod, he and the team developed the balance mod. He switched exclusively to that, understandably. But I guess what I'm saying is, I think I have more of the out of box reflexes inside of me. And
Gotcha.
I lost a game where Japan took India, which is relatively easy to do, and then you're one victory city away from losing the game.
Right.
And I lost a game by losing New South Wales when I was doing quite well in Europe, and that is not fun. So I'm pretty conservative, and as well as if you have your vital area pretty well defended, of course that frees up everything else to do what they want to do. So I guess I'm just saying a lot of words to say I like the fighter buys.
Okay. Wake Island, why is this force here? Is this just to protect your islands?
Let's see. So it's probably because I need to zoom in a little bit on mine. I have the Marianas, I have the Marshalls,
Yep.
and so if I can take Palau and the Caroline, so I need a transport, and I mean I have a couple in Australia, but it's probably for Palau
Okay.
or to get Guam back. I can't get Guam. I can reach Guam from there. That's worth five a turn, and Adam's going to want to take it back sooner or later.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go to the Chinese, and we are okay. We're gonna go with the Chinese and some more skirmishing and keeping China alive. He places two in Kansu. Finally, can buy. And it's $5, and then we are um, on to the British. Two infantry, one artillery, three transports, and two subs. Um, and let's go down to, and then the UK. buys 3 infantry. Okay, cool. All
They'd
right,
save some money,
and
I think. Yeah.
right. Yeah, you didn't buy last turn, I think. Okay, so let's go with. I don't think there's any significant combat again. Cyprus is taken over, and then a move out of India. I like that move. A lot of us think, or a lot of us early on think about defending an area and maybe taking out Japanese fighters, but it's the Japanese ground units that are the most important part of, in my opinion, of this game. One lost a blockade. The British collect 35, 39, 38, 41. Okay. So let's take a look at where the British are. So you're going to leave an anti-aircraft there. You've got your reserves, you've got your more reserves and planes in the area. You got lots of options. You've even got some mobiles and mechs here, and you're got some train of units walking their way to where they want to go, and lots of allied units here. There are just a lot of allied units all over the place. Um, and then some navies right there. And some navies here. So lots of forces on the peripheral of Europe. So Adam, you're looking at this and what are you thinking?
So a big choice was leaving India or staying. I think apart from the AA shots, I don't think you would on an average battle you would eat into any planes. I think on average there were a lot of um, Japanese land units remaining on average. So moving out, I agree with. Then in the Mediterranean, the Allies spent two transports taking back those islands, but it's giving -2 to the Germans, and it's giving +3 to England to UK. So that's the trade-off.
Is this fool's gold?
Um, I think two transports is a hefty price to pay. I think you can set up to so that you load one US transport with one England uh, infantry, and then you send one to Crete, and then on the UK turn, you just unload into Cyprus. So there's a way to spend only one transport there. And in that case, I would say it's worth.
Okay, so saying one U.S. transport takes it here.
So let's say it started from Gibraltar. You
Yes.
can load one the previous turn. You can load one UK infantry there, and then on the
Mhm.
following US turn, you also load in one US
Yes.
infantry.
Ah, I
You unload
gotcha.
into Crete, and then on the UK turn, you unload into Cyprus.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Because I'm thinking this is a honeypot myself. Unless you're completely dominating the med, seems like a honeypot. But I understand that would be much more reasonable, I think. Okay, so we go down here, and there's some editing. All right, let's go down to the Italians by 3 infantry, and here we go. Look, and you are moving. You are moving on
Oh.
Egypt. Here we go. And moving on Rostov. And I have Egypt opened up. I'm going to open up this screen right here. Don't look, guys, because like I said, um, it always spoils it. But okay, so one armor, one bomber. There's one hit. And the British roll back and get a hit. And the bomber then um, attacks the armor. Oh, he takes the bomber as a hit because he's got to take it over. The armor hits, but so doesn't the artillery. And Egypt is saved. Wow. Okay. That definitely would have been painful. Um,
That was game over.
yeah, I read your comment there and I was like,
Yeah.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. All right. And Rostov is a victory. And here, oh, let me move this, shrink this back. Okay, let's move. Okay, bringing stuff. Okay, powerhouse. I mean, As much as there are many, many um, Allied troops that are walking across North Africa and across the Middle East, there is quite a number of Italian infantry just everywhere. So let me go back up here. Italy makes $11. So let's take a look at the Italians' disposition of troops. Two here, three here, three here, two here, six here, a fighter here, um, mech, two mechs, a tank, fighter. So you are just everywhere. Okay. All right. On to Anzac. Can Anzac buy anything but infantry and ground units? Yes, he buys a bomber. Okay. And then creates a battle and sees on territory. Attacks with three fighters. What are you doing in Rostov? Okay, let me open this up. And I think you finally kill those can openers. Okay, there's an opening shot hit. And then the Italians hit. And it's 1 for 1. Two hits by the Anzac. And finally, the Allies get a little luck and wipe out the can openers at the cost of one plane. And then there's sub moves up, cruiser moves in, transport moves. Okay, here we go. Anzac transport has made it all the way to 91 people. All right, and then C zone 10 carrying Americans moves out to Hawaii, and he's bunches up there. Queensland got a little bit of a reactionary force in the south there. Places units. All right, 3 lost to blockade, ends with 7, plus 3 more for $10. Okay, the French load onto the Anzac transport, I would assume, and to move from Scotland to London, destroyer bugs out and back into Persia. 2 French units unite in Persia. Okay, where are we at? Turn 8. Okay, let's we got about 20 minutes. That's going to be my timer popping up. Okay, so here we go. Artillery, 2 carriers, destroyer, 1 fighter, 3 infantry, and 2 carriers. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
2 carriers, people, 1 destroyer. Okay, so someone is happy with their income and they are going to expand their horizons. Wow, okay. Okay, so we are thinking late game sea lion. Okay, so then skirmishes. I'm gonna fold this up a little bit so you can see the map. Okay, so all right, some skirmishes, raids, skirmishes. Okay, taking off some transports, yummy transports, success. Um, Smolensk, failure. Okay, Smolensk looks like it was significant. Okay, let's open that up. Germans come in with plenty of stuff, and they're facing 2 Russian infantry. All misses. 5 rolls. Gets a hit first turn. So okay, so then 4 dice and 1 hit, and you get a double hit. Okay, some luck on the Allied side. Smolensk probably use it somewhere else, but you 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 can only get what you receive, right? So there you go. Lucky in Smolensk. Okay, and we are ready to place a fleet, and the
It's to
fighters are moving
save
Novgorod. Yeah, go ahead.
the German transports. You have to save all
Gotcha.
the transport.
Okay. Okay. Some more troops in Bryansk. And moving some forward. All right. So, you're thinking at right away that you're thinking of sea lion, but this looks like more of a protecting the homeland. Cost of blockades 4. Let's take a look here before I. Okay, so we do have significant pointy things here. Not a tremendous amount, but with that Air Force and that Navy. This looks to be defensive at the moment, just protecting Western Germany. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's protecting Germany and Norway because
Ah,
if I don't make any fleets, the US can take Denmark, and then there's actually basically eight British units that can threaten Germany. So it's basically cheaper to get a standing fleet in 112 than to protect all of that.
oh, very good. Very good. Huh. All right. And obviously you counted up the double attack and thought this will be sufficient, plus a two-plane scramble. All right.
Mm, Well, it's not necessarily you don't have to have it strong enough to withstand the double attack because as long as it withstands the US attack, you can't lose Germany. So if the US
Okay.
attack is
Okay.
a
Berlin,
horrible, if the
particularly
US attack
Berlin.
is, yeah.
Okay.
So the advantage here on the defense is that if even if the Allies go for the double attack, if it's a horrible swing for the US, um, they lose a ton of units, and also you can damage your carriers, and all your planes basically get sent back to Western Germany. So when the double attack happens on the follow up for UK, all your planes are safe. So all you do is lose the ships. So
Gotcha.
it's not
Gotcha.
it's not viable here for to double attack in this case.
Right. Right. And there's the two with and then two more hit points right there. Three, four, five, six. So only six offensive units. So very, very low chance of really succeeding. But as far as territories goes, I just want to, there's a little cool feature here. This is 91 units. If you look right here, if you looked right in the below, just above the air base, you'd see units 91 and units here are 80. So this is you holding your ground. You're not going backward, but just expanding into these territories and making a lot of money. Let's check out your income here. Despite four lost to blockade, you are making $76, almost as much as the Americans. So that's definitely trouble. All right, let's go to the Russians who buy four artillery, one fighter, and five infantry. And then the animation gives us this. He's going to go into Korea. Let me go over here to history. Sorry. Okay, and skirmishing there and attacking there. Oops. Okay, Tambov is not successful. Um, okay, there was a roll of dice, hits, and a hits. Germans win. Okay, two hits in a row with all misses on the Allied side. Okay, good piece of luck on your part. Tambov, and then non-coms. Oh, he's going to send some. He's going to send a plane down to West India. Uh, all right, that's confidence for you. Okay, and ends with 21. Ends with $21. So Persian Lend-Lease is still open, but that's it. All right. So here we go, a dynamic front here, and we've got to make some progress on these valuable territories. He's got plenty of reserves. So I see one, three, four, five, and then this one to resupply this. Two infantry right there. Okay. Uh, and then the Japanese, one carrier, one destroyer, one fighter, nine infantry, one sub. So here we go. Animation, Chinese territory taken over, and the big push on India and destroying the Korean, the Russians holding Korea and Manchuria. Okay, success. And there we go. And there we go. So Korea is one, India is one, AAA misses, stink. Okay, so we are going to see some major money this turn. Um, oh wow, convoying, convoying. Okay, I'll bring the convoy around for the Atlantic, no subs in the Atlantic bonus. Okay, and he moves from 36 to 37, Marines to Chan. And suddenly we are talking about a Victory City game here. Um, and C Zone 6 is resupplied. Two huge fleets. Or is it three? Let me do a cruise around. See how much money they made. We're talking about. Nope, can't see that far. Okay, so let me go to the right side. Right up here. Mongolians will never. Okay. 69, 74, $79. He is making as much as the American made last turn. Okay, let's take a look. Um, yeah, so fleet here. Uh, Russia is almost out of men. The bomber moved up. Not a lot to be afraid of. Maybe a skirmish action here in Java or Celebes, but that would be just more symbolic. Obviously, he's going to take back this. One transport here, two here. So this is a very, not very many men, comparatively speaking, but obviously the Japanese fighters are just so powerful. Oh, a German bomber. I hate you. You
Yeah,
never
it's a
see.
very effective strategy to do this.
Say again?
It's a very effective strategy for the Axis to can open with a German plane in the Pacific.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm. Wow. All right. That hurts. Okay, so let's finish up the Allied turn. And three fighters, seven infantry, four transports. Um, can I, Adam, can I ask you, should America be buying this many transports?
Um,
I feel like you're over purchasing transports, Ted, but I could be wrong.
so it uh, depends what the plan is. I think he has to get something done in Europe.
Sure.
So in that case, you have to buy transports. So I think actually I think going for the least amount of escort units and the most amount of transports and troops is the right way to go for Europe.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
possible.
All right. All right. We have a okay. So we have a bombing raid looks like on Western, and then okay, and watching New Guinea is going to be recaptured hopefully. Um, excuse me. And okay, check this out. Okay. So we do a bombing raid because that's what we're supposed to do. Open up the second front, and boom, bomber goes down. Bombing causes 8 damage. Carolina's okay. Carolina was open. Celebes is attacked. New Guinea. Okay, six fighters, two, and he's gonna take a position in Caroline, Hawaii, Caroline. Okay, so fighters to Tunguska to reinforce the Russians, I'm sure. And does he have a scrambling fighter? He does. Okay. Um, Bomber lands in Sicily. That sounds historical. Cleaning up, transports. Okay. 59, 64, 74, 79, $84. Okay. So you've done some island hopping while he's been conquering Eurasia. So good on you. And the Chinese buy one infantry, and they're going to skirmish in Shenxi. Successful. And then up against the back against the wall. Collect $6. Okay, there's three fighters, one infantry, and two mech. And we're gonna load them up and put an infantry unit in Holland and take back India. It's gonna skirmish over India, looks like. Yep. And Caucasus skirmishing successful. Yay. And battle for India. Let me open that up. Show you some numbers here. Four. Okay. That is a tough first roll there, Ted. You got to be nervous. And he gets a hits. Oh, man. Okay, but he doesn't get a hit. Okay, so,
All that matters.
okay. And then non-coms, Egypt, 110, Gibraltar, 109, Algeria, Gibraltar, 71, Persia. Okay. Sending, got more troops in reserve. So tough to fight that because he's making $5 off it he's making the money every turn, even if you're
No, or oh yeah, the five bonus. But at least in the balance mod, you can't sack it every time.
okay. There you go. That helps. I have a house rule that is I think better. Honestly, it's called cap, which is capital capture, and that's the in order to take all the money, you have to completely surround the territory, or it'll half of it escapes out the back door. So it tamp tampers down the advantage of taking Moscow, taking Calcutta, taking even France. France becomes actually a bit of a tactical situation where you really have to work at Normandy, South France, in order to get the 19 IPCs. So, anyways, I think it's a pretty cool rule, house rule. $38, 39, and here we go. Some, all right, and let's take a look at where the British are. And okay, so we do have, obviously a strong 110, can stand toe to toe, and even uh, you breaking the Atlantic Wall for a minute, bombing, which is cool historically. Um, again, ringing the Med with allied units, convoying as well as owning Sicily and Crete and Cyprus, all cool. Um, I can't help thinking that maybe distracting, but the extra money obviously is coming in. Um, and then there is a strong Middle East, so that's really cool. And certainly this is not going to be resolved anytime soon, even if he is able to make that $5. So the battle is going to go somewhere else, I would assume, because this is just going to go on for a long time, I would think. I could be wrong about that because I haven't looked ahead. You are doing some stuff over here, Celebes, New Guinea, and obviously Carolina is a great position for both the Philippines as well as C Zone 6, but massive navies, massive amount of income. Let's check out the Italians. They picked three infantry, and let's see what they do. They take out the invader, kick him off the lands, and then they move around Fortress Shiro. Okay, and law looks good. Okay, so we're back to Anzac. Anzac buys infantry again because he is one turn away from, or one victory city away from a Pacific victory win. So he's buffing up. And Well, he's won if he's able to finally put down Calcutta finally. So then strengthening Caroline. You guys are entrenched a bit. So, I mean, where you are right now, you're entrenched in Plex 11, Plex 14, the French. Destroyer pops back into the med. So it does. Oh, no, sorry. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It looks to me like you're entrenched in positions. This is an entrenched position. This is sort of a no man's. This is kind of like World War One. There doesn't look like anyone's going to get an advantage here, a lasting advantage here anytime soon. I could be wrong about that. Same situation up here. I think this isn't going to change soon. I don't think it doesn't look like it. Um, this as well looks fairly entrenched. Um, I'm not exactly sure what's going to go on here, but again, kind of entrenched. So I'm seeing fairly even, but the income is, Axis advantage, I would think almost all the way. Yeah, 169 to 169. You're still buying transports and maybe a carrier once in a while, and he's buying all grounders for the most part. Even on PUs, you still have the advantage by 15, 60, 64. And then the TUV is you're still got the advantage by 200-ish, 180-ish. So how are you guys feeling right now? I mean, I think it looks Axis advantage, but what are you thinking? Ted, what are you thinking?
Yeah, Axis advantage. I mean, I've got Russia and India held for now, but I'm not somewhere around here. I realize that I'm not winning the game unless I severely damage the Japanese fleet.
Okay.
So, and I'm not
Okay.
making gain. I have to make gains somewhere. Not able to make gains in Western Europe. The German fleet has stymied me. I can't take Italy. So I'm buying time. Like I said, I'm buying time, but that isn't going to do me any good if I can't make something happen. And I really, let's see, the only place I can really make something happen is with Russia. If he moves away, I've got three transports with America, coming to Europe. Like Adam said, if you got the cover for him, I've got enough fleet to cover him. Bring six more Americans in, and from 91, 92, you've got an awful lot of options.
Okay. Adam, what are you thinking at this
Yeah,
point in the game?
a lot of uh, the areas you showed that were entrenched is true, but one area you didn't show is the front between Japan and Russia. So Russia declared, Russia invaded adjacent to Mongolia. So now those territories, it's another avenue stream for more revenue for Japan and less revenue for Russia. So that's a 10 swing easily in a few turns.
Excellent. Okay. Well, it's been a couple hours now, guys. I'm gonna say that I got to work tomorrow. So, but thank you so much. This has been fun. Um, like I said, I think guys have shown a great deal of skill here, and I really appreciate some of the finesse, particularly on the Eastern Front. A lot of, I mean, I remember reading threads years ago, and basically it was always Russia will fall, and balance mode has obviously helped Russia to stand toe to toe with the Germans.
You
And
also, you also saw a
yep,
successful retreat by the Germans to eastern Poland after going to western Ukraine and
that's right.
still got through Bryansk.
There you go. That's very good. Well, thank you all. I am going to hold on just a minute. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to do this slowly. I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to let's see, go to the. I'm going to end. I just want to make sure I do this correctly. But thank you all for talking tonight. It's been great, and we will come back for the final installment. All right. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Too. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Good night.